Sorry. I'm still with this flu. In fact, that me really weirdly. I normally don't have these states. And it's long ago I don't have this right symptoms. God. Okay, this is Jan 13th, 2014. 1627 and my address. We have to do sometimes with somebody really special in our lives. Asked me please if I could do something around this about making some video publishing kind of thing. And well, I just came from the streets and with a very rage, like normally, and this lousy shit over there. Suddenly I were under certain extortions that Sodoma generates expertises faggot sorry the word is, but matches perfectly. Of Sodoma, I mean, I'm not talking about gay, come again, right? We're attacking people all around and everywhere and extortioning if I wouldn't do what they said, like to International Criminal Court, they would ever murder people of state. In Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, in Hebron, Shemesh. And suddenly, also the men in Geneva, United Nations, in Madrid, Rome, in London, some inside the same Amsterdam, not Berlin, and even in US, and some around here. So the idea where I match over the we expertises and we shown it all and we know it all of course and we know what this is and what this does. This looks like a cycle thing and all studied also the match over the nobody to see nothing but what I say. Like maniac persecutor and delirious, deflective, judgment and schizophrenia. Bipolar. Alright, suddenly in the middle of this all, I had to go back in a place where the extortion yesterday delivered into damages that I never thought I would. So I had to deal with the situation again. And the sick shit of Chacarita Terminal with them social bodies telling that I come to having sex over that place. And whenever I come there, it's because of I am under extortion. And I can do nothing but dealing with situations until I do what I have to do because of they says they've made up me in the Chacarita trains terminal, Sodoma PFA, to put it to me. And I was so in a riot and everybody scandalized because of I were so screaming and screaming and screaming and supposed to be my friends but were not my friends, the ones that under regretness figure they will ever testify and saying, oh, but everything's okay, I don't have charges. And saying that the whole of the place were scandalized for them screaming and saying, keep me more, inside of the closed, locked bathroom of the damn shit of a place. And suddenly making the whole of the tenement and the defamation inside and outside and the whole of the environment, normally they need to make in this cultivation soup of the hell, Sodoma, the lady faggot lands, whatever happened, what their needs. So where the faggot land Sodoma expertises PFA with the board, note board, making BLYTT, make your signature and your testimony. We know it does and it did and it does because of we know this. Faggot land. Rapists of kids, teenagers, babies, pregnant, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, complete families, marriages, and happy faggot land Sodoma phase of the generates like everyone has. Shut up. I'm sorry the word. Well, in the middle of this all through this day I were dealing with this situation and coming and going, and trying to establish some orders as I best could in my reality. So, 12 persons were murdered in the US, 5 in Spain, 3 in Suez, 14 in Germany, 8 in Italy, and no one in Israel. But 29 right in Buenos Aires. In the middle of this all this degenerate sickle shit went all around churches, premeditated, with the Kirchners, Sodoma, prostitutes, residents, and the GFK, because of there is GFK, she says. Understand? I'm sorry for this. CFK, Sodoma Queen, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner. She says she is GFK. About to giving the reality, to go to kidnap them. At last, which time? Whenever those churches told them, stop doing what you do and get the hell out of here, because of everybody called us from the Israel, from the US, from the Swiss, and also from Europe and many places, you send your pockets and get the hell out of here and get the hell out of wherever you are, because of you were threatening to murder people. If he wouldn't do that, this person never done nothing. And this is not this behavior, and that one is nothing like you say, and that situation is nothing like you say, and that which you said happened never happened. And also the others telling, oh, we're lying all the time. How come? Weren't he in jail permanently and blowing you all and being the super nymph about your trousers? What the you come to bring me here? So suddenly kidnapped them and few raped, but the Sodoma Pocketland this, and all arranged, and every son of a shit of the division of Chacarita, Buenos Aires, like the rest all, every accomplice son of a shit Sodoma, making and telling the whole horseshit that they has in the pockets, in the trouser, and the whole the generation them own forever. The generation. With the Evange horse, brain and carnival, making the whole riot of lies, and Lord shows us and Lord tells us, and we know this and we know that, them prostitutes of Babylon with the burden of victims too much. Well, I am telling words that I shouldn't say, but suddenly this come all together. I am under a very destruction, and this is not ended. So suddenly, just we're doing my best efforts for the best ever to giving that I tried, and in the middle of this all, I'm found destroyed and ruined. And Sodoma that generates faggot lanterns and steps on making me witchcraft, and the generations and the lying and whoever it says ain't no truth, but this, what this person said and shown you, disappears, raped, murdered, destroyed. But Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, officialism president's whore, and the whole damn shit, sickle shit, Ejército Argentino on top. The faggot land ever. That generates like no other. And well, in the middle of this all, government of the city of Buenos Aires supporting the whole damn shit ever and destroying and murdering people inside, which says, no, this is not, and this is enough. So the reality of this all, this lousy shit of a land, I'm gonna sink it in the hell where every one of this glass goes, and not gonna help me with the victims and whatever my existence to be in his hands. Shut up. So the reality of this all, my supposed delivers into, after all we best could handle, with justice parties, and I'm sorry my terms. Just happened the reality that I just came to my address and destroyed like I am and getting to rest and taking over. So suddenly a long time ago I don't feel like this, and this flu is destroying me. So this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna say a little bit more, and I'm gonna try to rest, and I don't know what happens with anything else we gotta do. My supposed delivers. Well, just coming back, taking some pictures because of where the request met, and somebody asked me place too. And while coming in a way, I just watch all around and I just take my way. And I see while trying to cross the street, a son of a snake, faggot land, PFA of those that we understand are not friends, but emotional spiritual intelligence. I'm the expertise for the national security paranormal Sodoma, with the pardon of some victims of that. And I'm not going to discuss about this moment and about this situation. I'm sorry for this. We suffered too much for shit. And real shit. So suddenly, just comes and the snaky, twisty snake degenerate comes and turns around and comes all my way slowly like a damn shit of a snake trying to hunt and seduce. What kind of a seduction? The fever of the Sodoma hell they has in them shit brains, thinking that they are going to make be what they says to be. With evangelics of hell that generates and them shit of witches and them fellas in the crummy shit of witches of shit demons they all are, with the pardon of the victims. So the reality of this is exactly what it is. I just came in a walk, and the son of a snake stopped right in front of my door, right at the corner. And I just stopped 50 meters away, and I started watching the son of a snake, the degenerate son of a shit. And suddenly I just started standing there, I just watched, and I were talking my supposed Lyris. So my supposed Lyris delivered me into saying some things, which in my anger, understanding which class of a shit this are and what they are singing for, and the whole manipulative shit that they are for. And suddenly I just stood there. And in the middle of this all comes down the lousy son of a shit that comes right 100 meters right over there, right in front of my door, crossing the street. And gets down of the car and goes right walking right all through the block until its objective that surely gonna be talking with the son of a shit Sodoma, that expertise of being a son of a shit Sodomaki, abomination like any other, with a pardon of victims. And in the middle of the reality this, suddenly comes the exactly certainly clear thing. Comes like easy, everything okay, pride of Sodomaki, no other. The same son of a snake that taking the gun, but oh no, just the liars, he's a paranoid and he's a tanky, and we know this, right? Instruction, examination, pedophilic degenerate. Let it all like that, nothing happens, it's all okay, let it. We are going to internate it again anyway, you know? Put it at work. They do everything okay, don't you worry. Put them to around, any kid, any woman, any man, mother's father, it's all okay, go ahead. He himself said so, go ahead, do it. I'm not giving you an order, not invitation, you son of a shit. Fucking spotman echanim. Sorry this. And in the middle of the reality this, give up la mechanchele, de sin kafle, de sin chadish, mot la mechatrin chidachi. While the son of a shit that went all through the block, right side, left on mine, on the path of a walk, on the block, I were in the middle of the street expecting this son of a bitch, sorry the word, sodomite, PFA, expertise in abomination, which is to get the hell out of here. So suddenly that delirious son of a shit were saying all kind of a shit to testify is just a what delirious one. Gay fetish that they has shit in them brains, thinks there's gonna be because of they says fucking shit. So suddenly in the middle of this all, once the son of a snake that just went through, this son of a snake stood a little bit more and started to walk when somebody said, tell them to go out because if everything goes the shit away to us, breaks our heads up. Alright, so suddenly the damn shit this is what I'm gonna say, and I'm sorry for the words. I am not okay, and I am sick of this. Already you know me, and this is not the class of words I like on my mouth and my expression. But suddenly, that is not the worth of the reality, but the reality of I want to kill them and put them dead. And turns to saying that I to be a terrorist, but what kind of a terrorist? To be a delirious fag, piece of a Sodoma. and went to killing people all around and attacking and sodomizing and making the degenerations all over. Because if I say what I say to them, so what kind of a delirious paranoid tank is this? Piece of a worm of Sodoma. Ladisha. Well, the reality on this point is, until here we got, and insist us with, oh, had sex with our men, and we are going to make the petition because it happens everything that we say, and it's gonna be what we just say, of course, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna put you, and everything's gonna be like we say, of course. Right? All free, men's and women's, for they to remain like, you are not going to be pedazo de trolo, milico, y toda tu clase, perra sucia sodomita. So in the middle of this whole reality, there happened too much, and way much. So at the point of this, is exactly what I give you here. https www. Son el nombre de la duquita. And duquita is D-U-K-U-I-T-H-A. Cuanto más se enferman y deliran en la fiebre de la muerte, más muerte colectan dentro de sí para la eternidad de destrucción. .int F9. Last key and clean on my side, last BLYTT ISIS in New York. Here is everything. And I'm sick of this. Ask you please, people, remain in safety as possible. And remind us, much of people which you normally perhaps rejected in the reality of sexuality, much of them were victimized by these excrements of shit. And this playing the source defensed by a caste of shit like them are the caste of abomination that we all suffer. And pardon for some victims. Already know much because of already were murdering all around permanently. And still does. So at this stage, sure, I, Alejandro Mario Blanco REDEMI, I set you with this and I'm sick of this. And them all. And I'm not gonna give up. And I'm not gonna give in. I don't have waste of my life in rotten damn shit like them. With the pardon of victims. Shut up.